Friday 60 and today I'm making blackberry and apple jam, the perfect autumn jam.
For this recipe you will need bramley apples chopped finely, blackberries, cassis, preserving sugar and some water. You put the apples, blackberry, cassis and about 2 tablespoons of cold water into a pan and put over a low temperature until all the fruit and cassis and water dissolve together.
After about 15 minutes, the fruit will have all reduced in with the water and the cassis, and it will have gone really, really soft, and it will have produced sort of jam-like consistency. Now you can cook it for as long as you feel is appropriate. I personally don't really like big chunks of apple in my jam, so I cook it until the apple has gone soft, so it'll dissolve into the general jam. But if you like chunky jam, then of course you don't need to cook it for this long. It'll take more like 15 minutes, more like 10 minutes than like 15 minutes. Once all the fruit is cooked down to the consistency that you're happy with, you can add the sugar. You should make sure that the fruit is how you want it to be in your jam before you add the sugar, because as soon as you add the sugar, it's going to start turning into jam and you don't have that much more opportunity to cook it and make sure that it is exactly how you want it to be. Once you've added the sugar, you want to stir on a low temperature until all of the sugar is dissolved. And because preserving sugar is very, very grainy, you'll be able to see when it hasn't dissolved, as well as being able to feel with a spoon. So once you can feel that all of the sugar has dissolved, you raise the heat and bring the jam to the boil. For this jam, the easiest way to tell for sure when the sugar is dissolved, if you can't feel any on the bottom when you're stirring, is if you look at the jam on your spoon, if you can see there's no big crystals of sugar on the back of your spoon from the jam, then you know it's pretty much done. There will of course be pips from the blackberries, but if there's no sort of sugar crystals, then you can be relatively sure that it's dissolved in. So you can do that a couple of times just to check, and then once you're sure that there is no more sugar left to be dissolved, you raise the temperature that you're cooking the jam at until the jam comes to the boil, and then you cook it on this high temperature at a rapid boil for 5 to 7 minutes. This will thicken up the jam and prepare it to be put into the jars. So also around this point you should start preparing and sterilising your jars, because the jars need to be sterilised before you put the jam in, otherwise the jam will just go mouldy really, really quickly. So one of the easiest ways to do this is to set your oven at about 100 degrees and just put your jam jars, once they've been cleaned and washed, put your empty clean jam jars into the oven at about 100 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. You can also scald the jam lids in boiling water, and this will kill anything that's on them and make sure that your jam has the best chance of surviving for as long as possible. Obviously it'll still have a shelf life, but it'll be significantly reduced if you have bacteria already inside your jars that's just going to start decomposing your jam as soon as you put it in. So cleaning and sterilising your jam jars before putting your jam in is a very vital step. As you're boiling the jam, you'll see some of this scum appearing on the top. The scum isn't anything bad, it's not going to damage your jam, it's just like impurities in the fruit boiling off. If you want your jam to look beautiful and pristine, you can always skim this off, but like I said, it's not going to damage your jam, it's not going to ruin the taste. But as you can see underneath all the scum, it's this beautiful rich dark colour. So this scum on the top, it will change the look of your jam slightly, so you can skim it off and it won't, you know, this is just gonna, you can skim it off to improve the overall appearance of your finished jam. The easiest way to tell when the jam is done is if you spoon some onto a cold plate and leave it about a minute. If you touch it, you see it's formed a skim. That's when your jam is ready and can be decanted into the hot, sterilised jars straight from the oven. This recipe makes about 4 jars of jam with a little bit left over to eat straight away. Once all your jam is decanted into the jars, you can seal up the jars using wax paper and plastic and elastic band, and then put the lid on, and your jam should last for about 6 to 9 months.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do think this is the perfect autumn jam. It's so delicious. I was very lucky that all my ingredients were very, very fresh. Picked them all yesterday. Great fun and delicious jam at the end of it. It's great in turnovers, great on toast, great with scone and a bit of cream. Also great as a present. Homemade jam, so easy to make. Definitely give it a go. Thank you for watching. See you next time.